I don't think people really truly understand like how important cleanliness is to selling your home. The second someone sees dirt, they start to look at the baseboards, the neglect on the walls, the cracking. Like, the cleaner your house is, the more aesthetically pleasing your house is, the less
Even if it's dated.
Even if it's dated. If your house is Showtime ready, a lot of these like European style homes that they're dated, but they're like so clean, you feel more comfortable buying it because Nona was scrubbing that.
For sure.
Well, and we talked about this before. We were saying, like, even Martin said, I think in his podcast, he said that one of the things he finds that sells houses the best is just being clean. And it's hilarious to think that, same thing. The house can be super dated, but if it's really nice and clean and move-in ready, people feel comfortable with that.
What it shows? It shows you that person has probably taken care of the home through the years. If
and
they're
not
willing
just
to take care of the
surface.
daily tasks, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's pride of ownership, I guess. Let's talk numbers a tiny little bit. Because obviously, it's not an inexpensive thing to do. It's a little bit pricey.
For sure.
But you're not hurting for business. Yeah. But from a client's perspective, obviously it's really tough for them to put a value on their own home because, obviously if they use your staging service, they're never going to see what their house would have sold for if they hadn't staged it. But we do have some real world data out there, and you can kind of speak to that a little bit. Like what can somebody expect numbers wise?
A lot of people think, like that's a lot of money, I can just go to HomeSense and stage it myself. And we encourage you to try, because I have wholesale accounts coming out my tuchus, as we call it in the Jewish world. But we still need those HomeSense trips, and like my average HomeSense trip, and it's again not even a full house, is $10,000 to $12,000. Yeah. So we encourage people, like, try to furnish your home or stage it for under 10 grand. It's not going to happen. No. So that's where the biggest investment is. Like, it costs money. Your typical sofa, especially at HomeSense now, you can't get a set of two. So you can't get two side tables. You can't get four bar stools. So we have that advantage. But the reality is your average home to furnish it costs upwards of $50,000. That's if you're conservative. Yeah. Right. So it's a lot of money that we're putting in. The labor alone, I got 5 people at a time, including myself. We're there, the truck, the trailer, there's all these different factors, the setup and the pickup. But on average, I'd say the homes are selling for at least $50,000 more. If you calculate that as a realtor, even if you guys were to invest half of it and the homeowner invests the half, or you even put it out and charge more of a percentage of your commission, you're gonna get it back. It's hard for older realtors or a traditional homeowner, especially in a market like this. They're like, well, it's a crazy market. My house is gonna sell no matter what. It's like, the crazier the market, the more important stages, because again, generating more cost.
But it's unbelievable the difference of how a staged home or a vacant home even and
absolutely
looks. Like, it's night and day. And I'll have clients all the time. They're like, we don't need to stage it. I want to give people the potential of seeing what it could be themselves. And then they go and stage it, and they're like, oh no, this
much better.
Like,
a lot of times too, especially for like awkward areas or smaller homes. I mean, there's so many different reasons why you should stage. If it's too big and too expensive, like we've done $3 million homes, and as a family, they're like, I don't want my kids slipping on these marble floors, but it's like if you put a rug over it and dress it nice, it feels warm and welcoming. If it's a small house and you don't think a queen size bedroom could fit in that, and right now with the market being as it is, like, people can't get a lot for what they used to. So these smaller homes, you have to really jazz up to show, hey, Riverdale, for example.
Exactly.
I mean, it was dated. It needed a lot of TLC, but the bones are there. The house has so much potential. The more you jazz it up, the better it is.
Exceeded expectations for the seller.
And then
now, again, I have to say too, because my client actually bought that house.
Awesome.
And he walked through the house and he's like, how do I just buy this?
Yeah.
Does that ever happen?
It actually happens more recently than it did before. I think before, people, again, were like, oh, I'll just go to HomeSense, or I can find this myself.
Do you offer that?
We do. I sold the fully furnished loft a couple weeks ago.
Good to know.
So I highly encourage it. The reality is that people want a deal. They're like, oh, it's staging furniture. The reality though is I sourced that. I picked it up. I keep it clean.
Matched it to the house.
I matched, not even, that's a given, but like, it's like, good luck finding something in stock. Our design clients right now, when we design, I say to them, do you want it soon or do you want it in a year, 3 years? So like, for example, when I did a personal investment property in Florida, I sourced everything solely on what was in stock. People have ordered stuff 2 years ago. It still hasn't come in.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you want this sofa for a deal, but good luck finding a sofa that you like, that you're going to get in
exactly
2 days.
It helps you cycle your
that's true too. Yeah.
It really does. So we're actually, after we're doing a renovation at the building, we're going to be opening the building to a full-on furniture and home decor source. So you can come in, you'll walk with one of our designers and you can purchase anything.
That's cool.
And let's say you want that sofa, want a different color, we'll be able to offer it.
That's crazy.
But we're going to intermingle, we like to call them our models. So our model items with new items. So it's like, yeah, you can take the one or we can order you a brand new one. So it's kind of a cool option. Now more than ever though, people, they want it now, they want it quick, they want it fast. So we're seeing so many people try to buy our stuff.
Yeah. Well, and especially like we were saying again, sometimes with a older, more quirky home, you think like looking at a space, how am I going to furnish this? But when you can walk in the house and see it exactly there, it's like the convenience of just being like, but this works, I'll just take that.
For sure.
I can definitely see the draw on that for sure.
Now, do you find the pricing on the furniture? Like, you obviously get things in bulk, you source out deals and things like that. So when you sell it to them, obviously there's a fee in there for you guys, but in the end, it's probably not too far off what it would have cost them to go and buy the stuff new and those things.
Yeah. So again, like, because it does take time, and I have to keep, like, for example, at the end of March, we have Tour de Furniture with Urban Home, Facade, and Bertoni chairs. Cool. And I'm a little low-key freaking out because I don't, number one, have anything in my warehouse. But it's like, I could sell everything off, but then I still have 30 stages in the next 2 weeks. So that's the thing. It's like, I'll sell it, but I'm not giving anything away at this point, unless it's, usually what happens is when I'm ready to sell it, I just give it to someone in need because I don't feel right selling something that I've known I've used